I'm live. All right. Oh, snap. Something's going with my lens here. Hold on. Oh, don't want to mess this up. Okay, let's put it on and see if that's a little bit. Oh, yeah. What do you think? Without or with? Okay. Hi to all my digital peeps, to all my people in the digital space and beyond. Oh, okay, good. I posted it for me. Okay. So I'm doing I'm doing my live today on YouTube. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more YouTube lives versus the Facebook lives. I love Facebook, don't get me wrong, but I need to get something that will last, have a little bit of a longer shelf life than normal. So as things start kicking in and followers start coming in and viewers start taking interest in all of that, hold on, my thing is kind of going crazy. I think I'll probably post from YouTube and then just, or go live off of YouTube and then post to Facebook. Anyways, again, irrelevant, just kind of thinking out loud. So the name of this title is called The Seed, the Phoenix, and the Zombie Walker. And I just want to give you, this post was inspired, this talk today was inspired by Jay Shetty. I was listening to him in one of those compilation motivational videos. And for those of you that have gone to my other videos and posts and have heard me speak, you know that I love to watch. Oh, hold on. My receipt goes on. I love to watch motivational compilation videos on, especially on YouTube. So, oh, hold on. My little remote kind of so distracted today. I'm like, aren't I usually? Anyways, so I really wanted to talk about this. I wrote in detail, like when I get inspired for an idea or I get a download or I get inspiration, I go to my phone and I put in everything that I really want to speak about. Oh, I didn't use my speaker. Okay, that's what I need to put on. Let me see. I'm like, why do I have headphones on? Hold on one second. Give me 1 second, people. It's not like there's anybody on here right now. Anyways. Sorry, replay viewers. You could just double tap and fast forward 10 seconds. Okay, hopefully that's better. Oh yeah, my ears is like, I keep those in like for hours when I'm here at my office working. So yeah, so it inspired me, and when I get inspiration and stuff, I love to put stuff in my phone and then just go to like letting spirit just speak through me and come through me in my words, and as I'm typing things out. And there's a lot of detail in there. But what I'm gonna do is break it down for you here in regards to the examples of my mind shift. So crazy thing is too, I think I might start a podcast. I don't know, like I have been doing voice memos and like kind of like just when I have something speaking, I do like kind of like a digital like voice diary. And so I haven't been consistent with it, but there have been moments where I just like, I got to get this recorded on, like just record it and document it, man. Because like sometimes things come, the best ideas happen in these conversations that you have with other people and that you're just going off of and you're talking about. And even when you're just sitting there and you're talking to yourself, right? Or, whoever does that. And I always have these amazing, beautiful, really deep conversations when I'm talking with my husband and he's, going back with me, and I'm allowed to think and to like create and to, just like, I don't know, like create this like beautiful like idea, right, in this vision and articulate my vision. So I was doing that and I was like, you know what? I did already 3 podcasts and I was like, I'm just going to call it a podcast. And I started, recording, and I've already done 3. So it's crazy. And I was like in the last day and a half. So I don't know. I think, I'm like, well, if it doesn't take too much to just get it started, I'll do that. And then kind of like, I'm not going to say I'm going to go willy-nilly, but I want to at least get something started. And then hopefully get somebody to help me on the way that can, like amp it up and make it look, look pretty and do all the like, the intros and stuff that everybody else has. But right now it's really, I just want to get out this message and like the content that people like need to hear, or that, I'm getting inspiration from spirit saying that these people need to hear this. So the seed, the phoenix, and the zombie walker. So the first example is basically saying that the seed, like, okay, so here, let's tell a story. Like, sometimes a lot of people, not sometimes, a lot of times, a lot of people, they get knocked down. They get punched in the face by life. And if you haven't seen that little clip by Rocky, it was like, I think the second to the last Rocky movie that, you know, Sylvester Stallone did. Hold on, I'm gonna put do not disturb on. Okay, I'm back. It's, look it up on YouTube, Rocky Stallone, Sylvester Stallone, or Rocky, I think it was like Rocky 6 or something, or Rocky 4. I'm not sure. It's like 100 Rockies. But anyways, look it up, like Rocky clip, right? And it's the scene where Rocky's speaking to his son, and his son is like really bitter and angry, and he kind of feels like he's had to live in his father's shadow. And basically there's a lot of things that have happened in this kid's life, and he blames Rocky outside of himself. He blames his father for things that have happened or gone wrong or have whatever, because Rocky was Rocky, because Rocky had the life that he lived, because Rocky, I think in this movie, wanted to do another fight, and he was like already like 50 or something, but you know, like old or whatever. And so it embarrassed the son. And the son was like, well, that's just embarrassing. Like, why don't you just stop like this crazy idea? At one time you were this, but you're not that anymore. You're this, you know, like old man, just leave it alone and whatever. And the son could not understand like why his father would put himself through that. And so Rocky gave him a beautiful, great speech. And yes, it is a script, but it still applies nonetheless. And I'm not going to give away everything, but basically he says, you know, nothing is going to punch you harder in the face than life. Nothing's going to knock you down harder than life. Nothing's going to feel more painful, obviously, than life. And, you know, he proceeds to go on about, you know, different things. And he says, you know, you work for this company, you let them, you know, like put a finger in your face, and you let them tell you about yourself and tell you who you are. And then you believe them. And then you go into this hiding place and you shrink from who you are. He's like, I didn't raise you to be like that. He goes, you don't need to prove anything to anybody. He goes, you only need to prove something to yourself, right? But what happens is a lot of times people get knocked down, and it hurts so bad. It feels like this unbearable pain, and they feel like they can't go on. And so what a lot of people do is, instead of putting themselves through that, instead of putting themselves through the embarrassment, instead of putting themselves through that trial and the pressure and the stress of it, they are like, nope, I submit, I lay down like, you know, like a little puppy dog, and life, just do what you want, just make it easy for me, just give me an easy life, right? And Les Brown talks about this. He says, if you do what is easy, life will be hard, but if you do what is hard, life will be easy. And it's kind of one of those like catch-22, like wait what, like wait what, double take, woo, woo, right? And it's like, what the fuck does that mean? But it's true. If you do things that are easy, for example, let's just talk about health, because that's the best example. That's the one example that people can touch and feel and see with their eyes, like right away. And that's like, if you decide, right, to not fight yourself to some extent and say, I'm not going to eat those candy bars. Like with me, perfect example, what's going on. I am not really struggling or having issues, but like I am a chocolate addict. I love chocolate. I love ice cream, you know, although I actually feel like I've done pretty well in that department where I'm cutting down on a lot, but now, and you know, I need to ramp up like on the vegetables and stuff like that, but I've cut down a lot on sugar. But like that was my poison. That was like, I needed to have sweets, you know, and so I've been good with that. But even so, like the other night I had my husband get me like, you know, a chocolate bar from Walmart, and I was like, hey, grab me a bar. He's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, no, you're supposed to tell me no, right? But it really, in actuality, it's not his job, right, to make sure that I'm good or healthy or whatever, or to fight me on it. It's my job. So I had resistance against that, and what the second phase is now is to put in exercise, right? So the first phase is eating healthy, not only taking stuff away from your diet, because that's a start. Well, actually, the second phase would be to put back stuff in your diet so that you can keep your body being fed and you could stay healthy and put things in it, right? Not just take away, because if you're just taking away, now you're just in deficit. You're not giving your body what it needs to sustain itself, right? So then you put the right things in, you take the bad things out, you put the right things in, or at least the things that are going to cause your body harm, and then you work out, right? But that is a process. That is you saying like, oh my gosh, like it's easy for me to tell my husband, go get me a chocolate bar, right? And it's so easy. It's just a moment, a quick decision like that. Or I can sit there and I can think through it, which I'm going to tell you right now, I think why a lot of people fail at a lot of things is because they refuse to do the part of thinking. Thinking is actually, no, it hasn't been 10 minutes. That's crazy. Okay, sorry. Anyways, thinking has actually, it's proven to be very, very strenuous. It's stressful. It's like, at least to the people that don't see it as a good thing, to the people that have the perspective of, oh my gosh, this is so much, I don't want to think. Have you ever heard that phrase where people say, I don't want to think about that, right? And they're losing half the battle, like right there. So the thing about that is like, if you do what is easy, right, life will be hard. But if you do what is hard and make the hard decision or difficult decision or challenging decision to think, number one, and then choose, number two. What is up with these freaking like engines out here in Virginia? Freaking country people. Anyways, and then 3 is to actually do and take action on that decision, right? So I have to actually think, what do I want? Do I want to continue having my body be in a place that I'm not happy with, that I don't like? Or, you know, I can say, okay, I got to decide now. So I've thought about it, I've decided, okay, so I can either say yes to the chocolate bar or no to the chocolate bar, right? Okay, now I have to act on it. So if my husband asks me, hey, do you want something? I don't say anything. I don't acknowledge that. I'm like, no, I'm good, right? And I act on it. That is my action. Even inaction is an action, right? So that's what Les Brown means. Anyways, so let's bring it back around. I bring it in, Amanda, roll it and reel it and reel it in. So yeah, so a lot of people, when they get knocked down, they don't want to get back up. They don't want to be challenged again. They don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to have their ass handed to them, because they care more about what people think about them, and, you know, than what they think of themselves. And it's crazy. So they, you know, people live in this facade and this matrix, right, where we're just all walking around, smiles, everything's good, everything's okay. We don't share what's really going on. We don't share our ups and our downs. When somebody hurts us or pisses us off, you know, and sometimes we don't even know why people piss us off. You know, like I've had family members that they've gotten upset at something that had nothing to do with them, like whatsoever, and they get, you know, very hurt and upset, and they don't know how to handle that. So they give me the FU, and then they're gone. You know, they're like, whatever, I don't need you, goodbye. And it's like, okay, you know. And so, because people don't want to deal and face the challenging things that are involved in life, that are involved in maintaining and having relationships with somebody. So so here's the thing I wanted to share with you. You can allow life, and you can see something, a situation, a predicament, a really bad or tight spot as, you know, like, this is the one thing. If this one thing happens to me, I am going to die. If this one thing happens to me, my life as I know it will end. If this thing goes down, if I lose this person, there's no reason for me to exist, right? And we get very caught up and consumed by our emotions and our feelings, and it's like we allow ourselves to be overtaken by them. And okay, hold on, I'm losing it. So hold on, let me bring it back around. Sorry, I wish I could rewind this. It's cool when I'm doing the podcast, because on the voice memos I can pause it and then rewind and say, oh yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. But yeah, it's easy to like feel that way, right? And to think that way. And it may actually feel like that, right? Not actuality, but it may actually feel like that, right? It probably really does in your mind feel like that. You know, there's no difference between what you're thinking in your mind versus what's actually happening in real life. You know, the word is that subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. If you're going through that feeling, and if you're going through the emotion based off of the pictures in your head, you're practically like living it right there. That's the first step and the first half. You're living it once, right? The second time you live that again is when it actually manifests into the physical reality, okay? So when you think these things, because you lose a job, because, you know, a relationship ends, because you lose massive amounts of money, or you have money on the line, or you're risking money, which I don't believe in the word risk. I believe in choosing and making a decision. Same thing with sacrifice. I don't believe sacrifice. I don't believe it's either or, and you can never have it. Hold on, what's just going on here? I want to make sure. Okay. So here's the thing with that though. You can decide that situation, that predicament, that person, that relationship, that money, is going to end you right then, and you could live your life, the rest of your life, as a zombie walker, meaning that your body may be alive, your mind may be alive for a little bit, but you're essentially dead. You're dead on the inside. Your body will eventually catch up to that, because first the mind goes, then the body goes. But you're going to essentially be walking on autopilot, and you're going to be zombie walking. You're going to be like in this state of indifference and this state of numbness. You're not going to be able to feel, you're not going to be able to like really, and maybe you'll feel a little bit. Maybe you'll feel like, oh yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I love my kids. Yeah, I love my husband. Yeah, I like, it's good. When somebody asks you, how's your day? You're like, oh yeah, it's good. I mean, that's a freaking big sign and indication that you're unhappy. You can lie to other people, right? I have a post about this too, and it may be even in the same thread as when I wrote on my phone, but you can lie to other people, you can lie to everybody all you want. And actually, there are some people that will catch on to you, that will know better, that will be able to intuitively tell. I know I'm one of those people. Like when somebody tries to lie to me and they're like, everything's all cool or whatever, or they try to make it seem like it's better than what it is, I fucking call them out bullshit, but you can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You can never lie to yourself. You can never lie to your spirit. You can never lie to God, right? God and your spirit, your higher self, you know the truth. So that is zombie walking. So now the seed, you can decide to be the zombie walker, right? You can decide to let that one thing kill you, literally, and then you just zombie walk. You're just freaking the undead living, walking around, right? Moaning and bitching about life. Oh, I hate life. Oh, my job sucks. Oh, I have no passion in my marriage, right? And so on, so on, so on. Or you can be like, okay, the seed. And the seed is like, okay, yeah, you buried me. You put me 6 feet under, but guess what? I'm a seed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grow again. I'm going to come back. I'm going to start anew, and I'm going to grow. And it's going to be a process. It'll be a slow process, but I'm going to continue to grow. And what I'm going to do is learn. I'm going to learn from that first time that this has happened. And then hopefully the second time it won't happen. But maybe let's say it does. Well, then guess what? You go back into the ground. You become that seed, and you flourish again, and you learn again, and you grow again. And then this time you get stronger. You get wiser. You get better. And then this happens over and over and multiple times. This happens with entrepreneurs over and over and over. Especially with successful people and people that are really like paving the path and creating themselves and designing their lives. So that's what the seed is. The seed is somebody who will be put under, but then and they'll get buried, and they'll be in their shit for a little bit. They'll be in that darkness for a little bit, but then they come to realize it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. I can come back from this. Now I'll take my time. I'll take my time because it was a little exhausting. It took a big part of me. So I'll be a little bit, cautious, but I'm gonna choose to come back up. I'm gonna choose to grow again. Okay, so I think I've said enough about the seed. So now the third option is the phoenix. Now, I bounce somewhere between the seed and the phoenix, but it's mainly the phoenix. And these are, this option is really for people that are like, they get hit, boom. They freaking burst into flames and they die, right? They're like, bam, hit so freaking hard. And, they're gone. Poof! Into the ashes, right? The phoenix, this mystical, magical creature. I love the idea of that. I've resonated with the I've resonated with the symbolism of the mystical creature, the phoenix, for a couple of years, maybe 1 or 2 years. But because that's just me, I'm like this passionate, fiery, like rough around the edges, right? Type of woman, person, being, spirit, soul. And so the phoenix is somebody, like I said, that gets hit. They like the shit just blows up. They're like, oh man, like, and then they let go of that life, and they let go of themselves, and they die, and they follow, and then poof, right? They're just poof. And then from the ashes, right? They come reborn again. They come reborn again. They come reborn from those ashes, and they turn into a excuse me. I didn't bring my water, darn it. They turn into this powerful, feisty, new version, better version of themselves than the previous one. And then what they do is or like boom, they fly, right? They're like, okay, this happened, that happened, okay, that knocked me fucking out, but what am I gonna learn from that? What do I need to learn to get better, to get higher, to fly, you know, and to get to where I need to go? And that's the phoenix. That's the one I resonate with more. But there's sometimes when things happen and then I'm like, ooh, I'm taken back a bit and I'm just kind of like, okay, I need to be the seed right now. And that's okay. You don't have to be just one type, you know, you don't have to be just one type. I could say I don't believe that I zombie walk. Not anymore, since I have, you know, I feel like I have become like, you know, awakened. I'm in awareness now to my life and to the way that I do things, and I'm always trying to improve myself. And I'm sure there's some things I don't see about myself. There's some blind spots, you know, but I try to work on that. But in regards to me being aware of how I actually treat people and how I interact with people, you know, I'm very aware of that. So I'm usually somewhere between, you know, like the seed and then mostly the phoenix. So, you know, there it is. There's all the three different types of ways and, you know, I guess catalyst, you know, symbolistic things you could be once life hits you and knocks you out. Because I'm going to tell you, in every one of those scenarios, the zombie walker, the seed, and the phoenix, they all get put into the ground. They all have life taken away from them. But it's just a matter of, okay, who you're going to come back as, who you're going to, you know, like be born into anew from that experience. And some people may flip out and be like, oh my gosh, she's talking blasphemy or whatever. Don't trip, you know, like seriously, like get a grip on your shit. This is about renewing your spirit, right? And yeah, I get the whole, you know, like in regards to Christianity, you know, like the baptism, I've been baptized, you know what I'm saying? So I guess I'm good in that department. But the thing is, like, you still have to have a renewing of your mind and continuously after that, and even of your spirit. Just because you think you're baptized doesn't mean like, oh, okay, I am so enlightened, I know everything I need to know, I'm good, I'm done. Because let me tell you, if you don't know, anything that stops growing is dead. Anything that stops growing is either dying or they're dead or they're on their way to death. So that's it. That's the options. So, you know, choose, but choose wisely. You know what I'm saying? Because there's sometimes when you're going to need to be the phoenix. You can't always be the seed. You can't always be the seed because it's going to take you forever to ever reach anything that you desire and you need. And then if something takes too long, you're going to not believe in the process. You're going to not believe in the miracles, and then you're not going to have that faith. You're not going to believe in the magic, right? And God is magical, and you're gonna stop once you get that one thing versus reaching and aspiring for all areas of your life. People think that they only have one area in their life that they can receive and be great at or good at. And I don't want to say good, like great at. It's like, well, if I have a good marriage, then that means that I have to suffer in business and I have to suffer in money. So I can't have money and have a good marriage. You know, and that's just a lie. What you have to do, it's your life, it's your journey. You have to figure it out. You have to figure it out if that's what you want. You can have it, you can get it. God is already given you his blessing and said, hey, this is what I've ordained for you. This is for you, because the message is inside of you. You know what's inside of you. You know, he imprinted each and every one of us with a special gift, a special message. Now, whether you ignore that or you decide to step into your destiny and go toward your destiny and I mean, step into your purpose and your calling and move toward your destiny, he gave you free will. That's up to you. But you decide, because it is your decision at the end. It is your decision. So anyways, I hope y'all got amazing value from that. You know, I love speaking about this. I love sharing this mindset and spirituality and, you know, entrepreneurship. All those things are my forte. I love speaking on all of that. So and anything and everything, entrepreneurship, mindset, and, you know, and spirituality, I'm down with. I'm cool. I could probably talk for days. I don't even want to say hours. I could talk for days, weeks, years and never get burnout because I just love it. I feel like that's my calling. Is I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to assist you to get through the things that, you know, that you're struggling with, that you don't know which way to go, the ones that know that they have a calling. Actually, it's the ones, because everybody has a calling, right? Everybody has it, whether you acknowledge it or not. But what I'm here to do is help the ones that are acknowledging that calling. It's inside of them, but they don't know exactly what it is, maybe, and they don't know what to do with it. And furthermore, they're afraid because they're like, well, if I go after this, how am I going to make a living? If I go after this, what am I going to do for money? And that's where mindset, spirituality, and entrepreneurship is I love it. It's my thing, because we're going to work together to figure out how to get your calling monetized, because that's what it is. You know, it's okay to trade what you know and your gifts for, you know, something else that you desire in this world. It's okay. It's not a bad thing, you know. I know a lot of people think that's like prostituting your gifts, but it's not. It's not at all. I know that's such a crazy derogatory, descriptive way to put it, but this is how some people think. They're very cynical, and they think this way. And maybe some people might be like, "Well, you're saying it, Mandy. You're cynical," and that might be true. At one point, I used to have people that imprinted cynical things. I grew up with a cynical person in my life, and not by choice, but you know, that's just how it was. So yeah, make a choice, choose wisely, and I love you guys. Be kind to yourself as well as to others. Try something new today and just see where it takes you. And you know, I hope you're having a beautiful, blessed morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are in the digital space. You guys be a free spirit, have a brave heart. I will see you on the next video. Bye. Are you sure you want to stop? Of course. Yes. No, I actually don't, but I'm going to.